Hey, Nisi,
Hi.
give me your top three activities that you must do every week. You have 10 seconds.
Okay. Dancing, writing, playing,
Play what?
being goofy, like jokes.
No! Hey guys, welcome on Finding Balance with MP. I'm Virginia Nakun, and as usual, I will be your host. For today, we are having a very deep topic, the essence of tears. And I just had to call Nisi on the table, like, let's talk about this. So before we go further, Nisi, welcome to the plateau, Finding Balance
Thank
with
you.
MP.
Thank you. I'm honored.
So just give me like two, three words about you, about yourself. What do you do? Your daily life.
2 or 3.
Yeah, like
How will I summarize that? Okay. I do a lot of things.
yeah,
My daily activities, or what most people would know about me
yeah.
in public,
Mm-mm.
is that I'm a dancer.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. Because that's what I show more. That's what
Yeah.
I'm comfortable doing. But I have a lot of things that I do
Okay.
that many people don't know as well.
Mm.
I I love writing. I write a
Okay.
lot. Anything I write, if it's journaling or writing a story or a
Mm-mm.
poem, or
That's
it can be
nice.
anything.
Yeah.
And what else? I love to sing, but
Okay.
I feel I don't think I have a nice voice. That's why I've never been in a choir.
But you
It
sing to
sounds
yourself
nice.
like in the bathroom or something.
Or I can even sing like, because I love music. Like I
Yeah.
could sing around the house, and maybe my siblings and friends will say it's nice, but I know that if I'm in front of a crowd,
Mm-mm.
my voice will just crack. So I stay away.
Anyway, thank you so much. That's a beautiful one. And also, Nisi has an Instagram channel where
Yeah.
she share her content there. So please do well to follow her, like her videos, and of course share. So today we will be talking about the essence of tears. Remember, on Finding Balance with MP, we try to bring out the little advice that we get from our individual story. We are trying to help you navigate life in all the chaotic events that unfold, how you can find balance spiritually in your society and mentally. So today we'll be talking on tears. I think it's 2 months ago. I was in church, God's Love Fellowship. Nisi was leading prayer on that day. She said something that kept me thinking the whole time. While she was praying, she said, Lord, I thank you for the ability to cry. Jeez. I heard it in another level. And guess what? I posted that on my WhatsApp status.
Yeah.
So I went back, I made a post, and I was like, Father, thank you for the ability to cry. I had a lot of reaction from that post,
Yeah.
and people were like, yo, I don't know what life would have been if we were not able to cry.
Right.
And I've not had that conversation with you. So today I'm like,
Yeah.
what was in your mind when you made that statement?
A lot.
Okay.
I've been someone. I think I'm someone who is really emotional.
Okay.
Most people would call it being an empath. Like
Mm-mm.
I feel my emotions very strongly, and I
Yeah.
feel the emotions of others as well.
Mm.
So I got to a point where I really hated that part of me. I didn't want to be like that, to be emotional and stuff. So I trained myself
Mm-hmm.
not to.
So when
show
you say
emotion.
you feel it like internally, or you express it with tears.
I feel it.
Okay.
Okay,
You feel
and
the pain.
yeah,
Okay.
I feel,
Mm-mm.
and then yeah, I would show. I would
Okay.
show too.
Physically.
Yes, especially as a child.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially with negative emotions.
Yeah.
As a child, I might not even smile a lot,
Mm-mm.
but crying or just looking sad
Yeah.
was something that
You did
Yes,
a lot.
and I hated it.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be a tiny thing, but it
Mm-mm.
would. I feel like it would get to me so much.
So much.
And if it's someone else's emotions, that person can impact my own emotions negatively.
Yeah.
And when that person is already has come out of whatever sadness or whatever
Trauma.
they're feeling,
Yeah.
I'm still stuck with their emotion.
Oh.
So I just didn't like that.
Like
I was
that.
like, I felt weak.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I don't like feeling weak.
Mhm.
So I had to train myself how not to show emotion. And one
Yeah.
of the ways we show emotion is to cry. So
Yeah.
in doing that, I wasn't really telling myself that I want to stop crying, but it was like I just don't want people to be able to read me easily. So I was trying to protect myself. I had
Yes.
to build up these walls. I had to create these defense mechanisms that could just hinder people from seeing those things
That
about
part
myself
of
that,
you.
yeah, I just needed.
Okay. And one thing after that message, it kept me thinking. I'm like, what would have happened if we were not able to cry?
Yeah.
Because when you start talking about tears, there is a lot that tears will do to our cell, to our body. Like tears will help us release stress.
Yeah.
It will help us heal emotionally. Tears even help us for positive action. Like tears is not just negative. There are times something good, amazing happened to you, and then you just allow yourself to feel that thing. So when you build those walls, when you decided to build the walls around you, how did you transition from protecting yourself and still finding the balance to express yourself?
Exactly. Because I feel like the thing I didn't have was that knowledge of balance. And I feel like balance comes with a lot of maturity.
Yeah.
That's why I appreciate your channel, just the whole concept of finding balance, because balance is lacking. If you see people who talk about their opinions, they just say, this is my opinion on this thing, but it's hard to look at the other side of any story. Now, coming back to me finding balance, it was really hard because first I would completely shut off my emotion. There will be like a number of months or years where I'll just shut off my emotions and not let anyone see me cry. I think my little sister once said that to me, like,
okay,
I've never seen you cry.
Whoa.
Not like it had been a long time.
Yeah.
So we grew up, and then maybe as kids she'll see me, and then at some point as a teenager, getting into young adulthood, she once told me, like, I don't see you crying. So the one day that she'll see me, the thing that gets me crying is if I'm watching a sad movie.
Okay.
And then she'll be like, yeah, that's the only time I see you cry. But
for your own personal challenges,
I will not. And it made me really cold, really because I was not releasing those negative emotions.
Yeah.
I was thinking that this is me being strong, but instead I was letting that toxic energy stay inside me, and in turn it would spill out in other ways.
Yeah, and affect even the people around us that we love.
Yes, and it really,
I feel you.
It's hard. It's hard finding that balance. How do you want to be strong, but what it doesn't make sense. How can you imagine a strong person and then it's like you imagine them crying or imagine them on their knees? And that's what it was like to me, because it's like you're letting yourself down if you're crying, if you're doing this. And then but it got to a point where I feel like God really helped me when I really decided to one day I really had to take everything and face my issues and be like, you know what, I need to let this go. And when I realized I need to let things go, I felt like it just became, it's like I just easily, in fact, once anytime I'm thinking about something traumatic or something that happens and I'm like, please let it go, the first thing that happens is that I start crying. Because it's like you're giving up, you're surrendering all of your power.
Yes.
Because me building those walls, it kind of gave me power, right? So having to surrender is like, imagine losing a battle. It's like, but I know that I can, if I put in more effort, I can be stronger than this thing, but then letting go, but letting go of that power is really like, okay, now I'm helpless, I cannot do anything. And then it manifests as tears. That's how it manifested to me. For me, it was like, I'm just like,
Free.
okay, so I let whatever it is go. But then I understand too that there's a reason I didn't want to seem weak. Why? Because there are people who will not genuinely care for you. They
Yeah.
want to see you down like that. So I think that's where it
They
came
will
from.
validate whatever thing the thing about you.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So it was me now not choosing who to show that side of me to.
Yes.
And that's where it came from. It's like, okay, choose who you trust, choose who you don't trust with your tears. So
that's so beautiful. Growing up as a baby, I'm not really a baby.
Like,
you know, like
yeah.
5, 7 up to when I was like 19, 20. I was very sick. So I was that kind of a child that just from hospital to hospital. My mom would take me everywhere for treatment and all of that. And therefore I felt like I was tormenting everyone around me already with my health condition. So therefore I made up my mind not to cry, because I'm like, I'm already giving everyone this stress, this burden. So if I get into that place where I need to cry about something, it's like I am putting more pressure on them. So it brought me into that place where I held my tears so deeply and I don't cry. Like, no matter the pain, I did it for so long that I couldn't even remember the last time that I cried and all of that. And then it was me, like I was becoming some other person. And now it was not hard to do anymore because I wasn't remorseful. It brought me to that person that is not remorseful. Not that I'm pretending, but I really don't care. Like, I'm like, why are you crying? Because I'm not getting it. So like, even with the movie, and I see people cry, what I tell them is, these guys are making their money. Why should you cry? I didn't know that I was the sick person there because I couldn't unleash what was inside of me. And guess what will happen? I can be in a gathering, something very minimal that doesn't even make sense will happen. Then I will burst into tears. It happened to me once. There's one of my cousins that passed away. I wasn't even close to her. But because there were so many other things inside of me that I was holding,
a trigger.
I needed a motive. I felt like, okay, I needed to give myself permission to cry. I needed a motive. So when they told me that this cousin died, man, I cried. Like, everyone was like, man, you guys are not even used to you know, when you cry, that there are many things you are crying about, and people they'll think you're crying about the situation. It's not always the case. At times we cry ancient of days stuff, but we need that platform to cry. Then after I got to find within me that I needed to pour it out, I needed to cry, and after crying I also have to, pull myself together. It's not like crying myself to infinity, but pull myself together. So the moment I made up my mind, I started crying easily. Just like what you said, I will cry, but I don't cry with everybody. No, we must have that thing in common. So it's like giving yourself, like, did you have anything like giving yourself the permission to cry? Like, did you allow, did you experience anything like that?
So when I realized that I was being very toxic by not crying, or just being tough all the time, when I realized that was detrimental, right? When I decided to start crying, I would only give myself the permission to cry in my pillow. So I only cry in my room. So if whatever is disturbing me, if I'm in a public place and it's something has happened and I have to cry, it's like, no, you have your crying time. It's not now. Like,
it's
you have
not
to
here.
wait till night time when no one is there.
It's
all
like
the lights are
program.
out. Yes, like I
Oh,
schedule my crying.
whoa.
It was that bad. Like I would schedule it, and then it was not talking about it. It's like that was really toxic.
Yeah.
But yes, it was just that subconscious thing. Like, no, you can't cry here, but don't worry. There's a time you can cry, and you can push it to that time, and then I'll go. It has to be dark because I shouldn't even see myself crying
Right, yeah.
because I would still feel like, yeah, I'm weak. So I cried. I'll cry directly into my pillow, and and sometimes I'll even fall asleep. The next day, it's like I'm back
Nothing
to being
happened.
that tough, And I feel like it was during that time that my sister told me, "I've never seen you cry." Like,
Meanwhile, you cried.
yes, and she just didn't know.
So what thing will you tell someone? Because there's one thing that I noticed. Everything we go through personally, there is someone out there facing it.
Yeah.
They have no one to talk to. They always like they will not get it. Like they just feel like you cannot get it. You cannot understand. I cannot even relate with you. Like just let me be. Let me stay in my safe zone and do that thing. But for you that have experienced it and you have transitioned, like you're no longer at that place and you're at a better place, a more stable place, what lesson or advice will you give someone that is at that stage for now?
What I would say is for starters, you have to accept accept that this is it's not something you can turn off. This crying is a human thing.
Okay.
It's part of you. You can never throw it away. You would put it on hold, but one day it's going to come out like, and it's going to be very bad. So whatever reason it is, whether it's because you feel like you're weak if you cry, or you feel like no one would understand or no one would care, or you just thinking you have to be strong for everyone's benefit. No one is putting that on you. No one is. Whatever you're thinking in your head is all inside of your head.
That's deep.
Yeah. it's all inside your head. So when you come out of those thoughts, overthinking, the tears, just understand that it's part of you. It's not. It doesn't.
You're not weird.
Yes, tears. It's not like when you cry you become a crybaby. So those definitions that you think will be placed on you if you cry,
those
they are not real. They are not really real. And those who act that way or treat you that way, then they are really not important. They're not part of your life. They can leave. Really. But yeah, do what is best for you, what you feel in that moment, right? You need
Let go.
Yeah. You started by asking me, referring to the prayer I made and how it struck you, and I know what I was thinking in that moment, and the fact that God showed me a better way and how He healed me, and me just being able to cry not only to those He has given me that I know truly love me, but also to Him, right, without any fear, without holding back. So I had that understanding, but why? Because I was surprised that you even took note of that. So why? What really struck you with that statement? Like, thank you for the ability to cry.
When I heard you make that statement, it went so deep in my soul, and I felt like, what would life be if ever we wouldn't cry? Each time I cry, I feel so good because I am giving myself the permission. Honestly, the way I've gone through many years without crying. So me acknowledging that it's a beautiful thing that I do and I feel good about it. And I've never thanked God for that ability. That is because I've never made that prayer. So it sounded like this is something that our Father has made possible. But I did not even acknowledge it enough to be grateful for it. So I was like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. Thank you for the ability to, because it's healing. Tears will heal you. And Strange thing is, while I was doing a little research, I noticed that tears will help you heal external wound.
That's amazing.
Yes. So tears has it helps you to heal a kind of bacteria that will help you heal your external wound.
Wait, so with tears, like releasing the
yes,
tears,
releasing
have some kind of internal
enzyme. They call it yes. They
Oh,
call
an
it
enzyme,
yes. It has an enzyme that as you are crying, your body will secrete that enzyme that will heal the infection from your wound and will help your wound to heal.
Can you imagine? We're learning science too.
Yes.
Wow.
And it helps you release the pain.
Yeah.
It helps you release the stress. It helps you release the trauma. You know,
everything. And then there's this
there's that that comes at the end. For me, I was like, why have I never said thank you to God? This is something beautiful that He has made and put in us.
Yeah.
So I should have been more grateful. That's why I kept, each time I see you, it popped in. Like, I have been waiting for us to have this episode like forever. I'm just so grateful.
Thank you so much for having me and giving me the opportunity to speak about it.
Of course. Of course. That's so powerful. So the first thing is you allow yourself to cry because it's natural. It's a human thing. God had a reason that He instilled tears inside of us. So you are not being weak. You are not being out of this world. You're just doing something that is normal. And stop the imagination and the illusions that you have in your mind, thinking that you are affecting everyone around you if ever you cry. Rather, you not crying, they feel that there is a pain and it's not being expressed in one way or the other. You are still expressing it in another way, not just in tears. And crying will help you feel better, will help you heal. And if anyone around you is like flagging you because you cry or tagging you negatively, that person shouldn't even be in your circle. That person is not worthy to see your tears because they are very precious.
Exactly.
They should be shared with someone that value you and care about you. That was so awesome. Thank you so much, Nisi. Like,
this is having me.
I'm like, whoa. The way you say your things, you say them very softly. It carries a lot of weight. Thank you. Definitely, we are gonna have another session of this where we go deeper into the conversation. That was it today, guys, on Essence of Tears part 1. We'll definitely have another part 2. If you're new on this channel, let's keep going. Subscribe, share, comment, like, let us know that part of your tears. Allow your tears to flow and be grateful for what God has given us in tears. The Holy Spirit, our comforter, has His hand always open. Your daddy is here to embrace you so you can cry on their shoulder. All right. This is Finding Balance with MP, and see you until next time. Bye.